guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to part 2 of this little mini series we've got going on. So today we are returning to this full family home, which some may differ on whether it's a full family home. I think I just kind of come up with titles and I don't really stick to it, but anywho, as you can see here, we have moved on to the formal lounge, which I was talking about in the previous video. And by formal, I don't mean stuffy or anything, but just more that it's like designed to have more adult and like less like friends who aren't so close, you know. Excusez-moi. But yeah, so I just kind of added in, excuse my phone as well, sorry, but I've just added in the couch and armchairs from Cats and Dogs. I believe that's all the ones from Cats and Dogs, as well as the corner seat from Cats and Dogs. Ideally, I know that's meant to be used in a bay window, but I just thought it would be fun. I love the cushions on it, and I just thought it'd be a good way to bring some dynamic lines into what is essentially just a rectangular room and just kind of open up the space in maybe a different way than what, you know, you would usually do, which is just like couch against the wall, couch against the like other wall, all in very straight perpendicular lines. So I just thought it'd be a bit more, bring some different energy into the room. Over here as well, you can see that I've added a card table and then just a desk that it really is just like to have paper to hand or something, or like maybe business cards or anything. Later on in the video you'll see that the master bedroom belongs to some parents who are essentially designers. I added in like nifty knitting and stuff, but I'll get into that later. Here you can see, if you may recall, the 2 guest bedrooms that I mentioned in the first part of this mini series. They really are just copy and paste. I went with the paranormal stuff pack wallpaper that I used in the kitchen, just in a different swatch, and then same mirrors, same dressers, same bedside table, same beds, everything like that. They are quite barren. It does give off hotel vibes, but again, like I said, these are guest bedrooms, so I wasn't going to use time, like valuable time on guest bedrooms when I had family like rooms to build. So yeah, they were just like quick, neat little jobs. And yeah. Here you go. That's really it to the story there. I did add in the, is that patio or like, it's not the patio stuff, it's not the patio stuff pack, but it is poolside? Pool party? I just love that rug. I'm actually addicted to it. But yeah, sorry, so here we are into the library. So you saw me just like adding in the bookshelves, and then the entire vibe is very much just wood everywhere. When I was doing the dining room, I noticed that these dividers are a thing in the Cats and Dogs catalogue, so I wanted to bring them in here and use them as dividers between study nooks. They are meant for like a restaurant or a pub, but they also remind me personally of library dividers in older, more antique libraries. Again, it was just copy and paste. This is more what I was thinking, at least, was a study space for like the kids. And unfortunately, the way that I set it up meant that the bookshelves on that back wall did have to go. I could have changed it around so that the chairs like and desks were parallel with these bookshelves on the right, but I didn't think of that until just now, so hindsight 2020. But yeah, here you can see I'm just making a bit more of like a cozier book nook. So in my mind the desks were maybe for when you had to do homework, or when you need to access the internet and things, whereas the couches and chairs and stuff were for when you want to do some casual reading or like just cozy up with a book and things. I do add in a more retro stereo here as well. Just thought maybe that would bring some vibes. Like, some people like to listen to music, some people don't when they're reading, but you know, there's the option in case you want the vibes when your Sims maybe are reading and stuff. But yes, so now we are in the laundry room, which I mentioned again in the previous video, so you can see the door that I don't think you got a chance to see the previous time. So that door does lead right out onto the back garden, and I'm just adding in literally everything under the sun from the laundry kit. Not laundry kit, sorry, the laundry stuff pack. So there's like, I think in the end like 4 machines, so 2 dryers and 2 washers or something, and there's like 5 hampers, 2 like for dirty laundry on the right here because they've got actual laundry in them, and then I have 3 that different shapes, so maybe like this one's this kid's and this one's that kid's or something. But yeah, and that's really it for this section. I didn't I had like a thing where I needed the washers to be on the floor and then the dryers could be on top of one another, but they don't actually stack, funnily enough, like that, so just had to kind of improvise. I don't know if that affects the userability of the dryers, but then again, you've also got another one, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't know how much washing Sims make, but hopefully it's not that much, even when it is a house and a household this large. But you can see here me adding in those laundry baskets that I mentioned just now, as well as some filled laundry baskets and the bucket and everything. I'm literally just putting everything everywhere that I can possibly think of. I want to apologise for the fact that we are constantly phasing through the walls. What's happening is essentially I'm trying to get used to building on eye level, but I hate building without the walls, which is why I started building from a bird's eye view anyway. But I do think it looks nicer for a video when you're building in this sort of plane. But when it's a space this small, it does come with the territory of sometimes you do accidentally end up going through the wrong side of a wall, or there's a wall in the way, and I just want to apologise for that. I'm still like getting the hang of camera angles and everything, so yeah. But yeah, so as we saw with the wooden aesthetic for the floor and walls in the library and then also in the laundry room, I've translated that up here into the master bedroom's sort of ensuite office, shall we say. So there is like the desk in the formal lounge and then obviously all the computers in the library, but this is more like the space for the parents to work from home, do some like designy things. So that was my idea, was that they were designers. I do put up the dream home decorator like corkboard poster board thing, but otherwise we've got the nifty knitting stuff desks and no, it's just the bird's eye view. Sorry, it's throwing me off. I was like, is that actually a nifty knitting? No, it is. They're both are nifty knitting. Unfortunately, the one that is on off camera right now, that one got deleted at some point during playtesting, or like when I loaded in the build or something, because I didn't have move. I don't know. Got deleted. So the clutter that's on it that I put in the video isn't in there, in the like the gallery upload. But yeah, so yeah, just kind of cluttering things up, which doesn't stay because it gets deleted. But I've added in that cart, which gives IKEA cart vibes, and I'm here for it. As well as eventually the mood boards. I'm not too sure how the careers have worked. I haven't played with that aspect of gameplay. Hopefully soon though, because I do want to get started on some Let's Plays. But I'm pretty sure it's just you have the board, and then obviously like you need to register for the job as well and stuff, but I'm pretty sure the board is like, actually I think it's, maybe I'm just like talking absolute nonsense here, but I think the board has some relevance to the gameplay. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe I've been misinformed. I don't know. But yeah, you can see me adding in some yarn here. More clutter that gets deleted. And then... Oh, do I get rid of the board? Oh, scandal. No, I think I do keep that Dream Home Decorator one, and then the pegboard goes. In this corner I do have space just to put a little plant, and that is really it for this room. So there is really nothing much to say. Like, it is just, the idea was they have this and it comes off of their bedroom as well instead of coming off from the hallway, so it's very like when they're in here they're focused, they don't get disturbed kind of thing. The kids that are part of this house are all different ages, so you kind of like imagine maybe the older ones have gotten used to like looking after the younger ones at this point as well. So yeah, anywho, moving on to the master bedroom proper here. So I went with that bed, which I believe is actually from Cats and Dogs. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then for in front of this faux bay window, faux like little balcony area, I just went with putting in some couches and stuff, because again it's just meant to be like a little private area for the parents, somewhere they can just get away from all their kids and just relax. And also the sunrise is really pretty through these windows, which is, you can see it there on the right, it's absolutely stunning. The light on this lot was really good, and that was also why another like just plus of wanting to use the Cats and Dogs pack was they had those really big windows, and it just lent itself perfectly to getting that sort of feel to the build. So yeah, but yeah, again I've gone with just like a basic wooden flooring. This one is actually a Cats and Dogs one though. And then instead of having bedside cabinets, I decided to use the trick with turning around the kitchen cabinets so they're actually facing the wrong way, but on purpose. So it's like a bit more flat and smooth looking. And then I just added loads of clutter onto them. So as you may have seen earlier, I used these lamps, which are also Cats and Dogs, which are so cute. And I think that was something I enjoyed doing, was bringing in the traditional through little touches like this, like the architecture obviously, especially on the exterior, and then little touches like these lamps or the portraits. The library especially is quite more traditional, but the movable furniture items like the beds, the couches and all that, that's more modern. And I think that is, typically speaking, how it would go in a traditional home nowadays, is you would find the more used and disposable furniture items to be things that are less ornate, less traditional. But yeah, so that is really, I think we're coming up to it now, because again I don't have the, so I've mentioned in various builds, I don't have the OSP shelf, the red shelf, so I do have to snap things onto surfaces and then remove the surface, fit them in how I want, and kind of work out that way, which in a way makes it a bit slower. But the thing that frustrates me about mods and CC, which is kind of why I don't really use them, is that especially this happened before like I started recording, every time you update, obviously the mods, the CC, they might break, and the mods get turned off as well automatically through updating. So then if you accidentally, which is what I would do all the time, load up a build where you had used mods or CC, and it would just be empty. That's on me, that's not on CC creators, that's not on modders, that's not on the Sims 4 team, that's just on me being a bit of a klutz. But yeah, one day I will, I do have loads of CC in a folder that I keep. I've just not put it back into my game, and also I think whilst I'm getting used to this whole thing, it's just easier to not bring in external content. But yeah, so you can see, sorry, that was my elbow, don't know if you had that. But yeah, so I brought in just one bedside table here, and then some poofs that I thought maybe they could be something like you want to sit more on the actual balcony, you take the poof out, but they're on the inside obviously because they're not like maybe weatherproof or something. But yeah, again, everything is play tested in terms of sitting down and being able to use the toilets. The only thing I'm just not sure on is the door at the back in the laundry room, but I'm pretty sure that's fine. Like, I was a bit lackadaisical when I approached the playtesting because I was like, it's so big. Sorry again for my phone. It's so big, it would be so hard. It would have been absolutely hard. Like, tremendously difficult for me to actually have made it impossible to get a sim through it. But yeah. So now I'm just adding in some final touches to the bedroom because obviously we've got our main pieces and then we're just working around them, building up the character to this room. So here I tried to add some stereos, and I didn't realise when I added that one outside on the pool, if you remember from the previous video, but that's actually something that attaches to the wall, as you see here. Oh, and I had an epiphany moment. Unfortunately though, I don't think there's a slot in the middle of this bench. And like I said, I don't have the red shelf. I could have taken just like the plants off, but I just thought actually maybe it doesn't look too bad having it a bit sunken down into the table itself. Maybe it kind of gives off the appearance that the entire table is like the stereo. You know, like you get those charging things that are, they charge your phone and your head, like your AirPods and things. Maybe it's like that. Creative thinking. But yeah, so now we're moving on into this sort of walk-in closet, even though probably it doesn't look too much like a walk-in closet. I didn't really want to use, wow, that was quick. Sorry, we've just now jumped into the second kitchen. I didn't want to use, just a quick note for the walk-in closet in the master, I didn't want to use the Dream Home Decorator stuff because I thought maybe like the parents were a bit more, they wanted the traditional things. They've got things that have been handed down to them from their parents or their grandparents or something. So I just used one of the base game closets and the dresses from Cats and Dogs. And then later on I think I maybe have cut it out, but I do add in some couches as well there that are sort of like when you're getting ready you can sit down sort of couches. Anywho, we are on into the second kitchen here. So yes, there are two kitchens in this build, and again it was just the idea of this private side, more public facing side, opposing one another, that sort of brought this on. This space on this side of the build I just didn't really have any clue what to do with, so I just thought maybe I make a breakfast nook, and then the breakfast nook turned into a full-on kitchen. So the other smaller kitchens just for when they're hosting, it's like, you know, to bring the food through quickly and that type of thing, whereas this is where the family gather in the mornings, they take breakfast together, and maybe also where they have like little catch-ups or something, or you know, something like that. But yeah, so I have used the oven and hob from Dream Home Decorator, and then again the Country Kitchen Kit. A lot of this I did just translate over, like I said, for the continuity and the just ease of building as well, and I think it's come across quite well, whilst also not seeming like it's the same. I think this has got more of like, one, it's a bigger space, so of course it will have more of an open sort of feel to it, but it's got more of like a homey feel. So hopefully someone else gets that too. I wasn't too sure what I had done to make the island counters here just not work. As you can see, they're like not lined up properly. I was like, I just don't know. I think it's the line of the grid that they were on. So I just slotted in a little Dream Home Decorator sort of shelving unit into that little cubby whole space gap thing to make a cubby. And I thought that worked quite well. It's, you know, at least some part of my brain was turned on when I was doing this and thinking about, yeah. But yeah, so then that is the actual seating area. That's more of a relaxed space. You know, maybe you're taking lunch there or something, but yeah, it's just like, again, this idea of this is more of the family kitchen. This is relaxed. This isn't forward facing for any visitors or friends of the family, or maybe, you know, like business partners or something. There's no hosting going on here. It's just cozy vibes and good vibes. So yeah, I did go with these again from the, I'm pretty sure from the Nifty Knitting stuff kit. I've honestly said so many pack names so many times now, and it's getting quite late, so I'm just a bit like, I don't know the names of any of them, but the knitting one, I used those wicker couches, which again appear here, as you can see. So I had pulled out some couches for this living space. So this living space is the biggest room in the house, and it is essentially just one gigantic social space, either for the kids amongst themselves or if they're inviting friends over, that type of thing. And it's sort of just, this is their space, and they like use it as they want, but they also have to look after it. That was kind of the idea, away from everyone else and from their parents, but like obviously the parents probably come and join in here too. So yeah, it's just got quite an eclectic vibe, because I thought, you know, we've got kids of various ages in this house, so maybe they've participated in helping decorate it, and whereas like the lounge and the kitchens and everything have got quite rigid plans and ideas of what they are, this is more of a shared communal space, so it's kind of almost reflecting everyone, and therefore it seems a bit, yeah, it's very eclectic, very maximalist almost. This wall I do just use as a gallery wall. Another thing I should have play tested is this darts board, but I'm pretty sure again, like, the green wasn't really clipping in with anything, so it should all be fine. But yeah, just because of the darts board here, I did just kind of throw loads of pictures at the wall, because I thought maybe that kind of made it seem a little bit less lonely, and also stand out a little bit less. So yeah, and then we've also got some other activities, like you can see the, is it Don't Wake the Llama? I think that's the name of the game. That can be played by a lot of people, and again you see the Blooming Rooms kit coming through. Then I've got like a music player here, you can see there's a TV on the left and everything. I've brought in, I know these are I think they're technically seats, those pillows, or they're like fake seats, like the buffets that you get with loads of packs. But the idea is, again, like, if you have too many friends for however many couches there are, then they can just grab a pillow, that type of thing. Just kind of bringing in more of that organic kind of people actually do live here vibe. Originally I did have actually another seating area in the center of this room, but then I remembered, or like as I was scrolling through rather the catalogue, I found the dance floors, so I put that in, and then there's the badminton table and whatever, the foosball table. So there's quite a few like communal activities there, and it just kind of brings again this like family feel to it. So this is the first kids' bedroom that I started building, that we've moved on to now. There was no intermission between my brain thinking kids and then thinking pink. It was just straight through pipeline, and I didn't challenge it. The only thing was I did add this, it's actually the classified documents wall from the I almost said Stranger Things, but Strangerville pack, And my idea was like, maybe this kid is kind of becoming a teen, like she's a preteen, she's sort of getting into discovering what she really likes in life, and that really is just animals. So she's the one who, you know, maybe not literally because she's a kid, but she's the one who cares for, in terms of love and support, she's the one who cares for the pets that they have in this home, because there are like some pet beds and obviously the obstacle course outside and like one food bowl, which is very Peter friendly of me, but she's the one who's like, I like the pets, I love the pets, I want to look after them. And yeah, so I thought maybe she'd got like loads of journal, like magazine articles maybe on pets or something, like, which isn't too wild. Maybe you're thinking this is an advanced preteen here, but let me tell you, when I was 11 years old, I had a subscription to Horse and Rider, and I had it for about 2 years, and I read that magazine diligently. So don't tell me it's far-fetched, because it's not. It happened. It has happened in my life, so it's not too insane. But yeah, so that kind of just translates throughout the rest of the room, this sort of love for animals. So she has got some pictures of her friends, but otherwise, as you just saw, I did loads of decals of cats and dogs and everything. And then instead of a Blarfy, she's got the cat version, which I'm not sure what the name is of that, and slap me on the wrist for being a bad Sims player. But on top of that, this sim is very messy, as you probably noticed. So she's kind of like clinging on to some things. So she's got like, I think a craft kit, and then like a toy box as well, and then some prized toys as well go into, there's one that comes with that corner shelf there, and then I add a shelf in and put another sort of, this is my prized possession toy, which we all have had growing up, puts that in there. So yeah, at first I had this sort of cork board, which again was kind of like just the idea of maybe she'd pin some things to the cork board as like ideas or inspiration. But then I saw the clock and I saw this hexagonal shelf, and I just thought that sort of suited this sort of, sorry, I'm saying sort of a lot, that suited this room a lot better in terms of the vibes and the aesthetic and everything. But yeah, and then again, just magazines, which we're pretending aren't fashion magazines, they are animal magazines, which, like I said, do exist, are a thing, and would totally be readable by like an 11-year-old if they were really passionate, which this kid definitely is. But yeah, so I'm just finishing up this room with some basic clutter, and then we have about 10 minutes left of the video, but obviously some of that is screenshots, so we are coming up to the end, like final few minutes, 5 minutes even. The rest of the rooms, as you can see here, I have cut out quite a bit because I didn't want to make too much repetitive content. This room was, again, just another sort of teenage room, or like, oh, like slightly older kid like me. I don't know. I can't remember what age equivalents the kids in Sims are again, because I haven't played in so long with kids. But you know, like 8 years old kind of to 13 years old, that sort of age. Maybe more on the younger side of that than 13, but no, 13 would pass for this room. I'm standing by it. So again, like, they've got some things that they're clinging on to, like their toys and everything, but yeah, this kid shares the bathroom with the other one, the pet loving one, or animal loving one. And so instead of having, like, because there's not a lot of space in that bathroom, instead of having their things in the bathroom, I kind of added these counters here, that they then keep all their toiletries and like soaps, extra soaps, like things like that in, and then maybe like their toothbrush and stuff they keep in the cabinet that I included on the inside, which essentially the ensuite here is toilet, standing sink, a wall cabinet, the same cats and dogs one that I used in the first bathroom, the only bathroom that I think you saw me decorate, and then also a shower tub combo with an elephant motif shower curtain, which, like, I've been wanting to use that. I have been wanting to use it, and I finally got to use it, and I'm so happy about it. And then the bed, the orange bed, has elephants on it as well, and I was like, it's full circle. It's just like the dots are connecting, the synapses are firing, everything was going off. I was really excited. But yeah, so here we've moved on to the toddler room. Like I said again, I've basically cut out most of the footage. This one was blue, so you can see I just went with one colour for the entirety of the room, really. This one's blue and green. And then here you can just see me adding the decals, because that was the most interesting part. What is behind me is just toy box, craft table, playhouse, like dollhouse, and then a play tent as well, and the Drago, like Blarfy kind of toy. And then yeah, here I'm just adding loads of Void Critter decals, and then what's his name, Yamachan as well, who's so cute with his little skis. Obsessed. And then whatever sort of, you know, rip off Rara Pages. I'm not saying it because I don't know if I'm gonna get, like, you know what I'm saying, but that rip off robot thing. But yeah, and like the height chart as well, which I thought was really cute. So the toddlers do get the biggest room, but the reason is because they can't obviously hang out in... Can toddlers go upstairs? Oh my god, I just realised, can toddlers go upstairs? Toddlers can go upstairs, right? Oh my god, I hope they can go upstairs, otherwise they're trapped in there. Like, you're just gonna have to bring food up to them. I'm so sorry. But like, they don't, you know, they're not old enough to play in the big room downstairs, so they get their big room with all their stuff in it. Like, it's a toddler's paradise in my opinion. Also, don't come for me with these string lights, because I didn't realise how long they were. I told you, I was like just so tired at this point. Been really lacking sleep recently, so I did not realise that these were sticking out the wall. And I have removed them, but I'm not sure what, like, I literally did not realise. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I like don't want to watch. But I have uploaded, I'm pretty sure I've uploaded it to the gallery with like not sticking out the wall. If it's not, tell me, but I'm so embarrassed. I told you, I'm pretty sure I told you in the first part that something probably sticking out the wall somewhere. I could tell, I knew it. I probably knew it in my soul. My subconscious was like, you know you've done it. It's so embarrassing. But anywho, so we're on to the final 2 bedrooms here, which means we are coming to the end of the speed build, and essentially these rooms are very simple because either these children have already moved or are in the process of moving to university, or maybe like getting their own flat or something. So you decide which one is sparse, so you decide which one's been to university longer, but personally I would say it's the other one, the grey room. But they are like sort of more mirror images, where these ones have got the most modern furniture. I was picturing 2 female Sims or feminine Sims, but you know, you can have male Sims as well. I love I love it when women go to uni. I'm kind of obsessed with it. So as soon as I think uni student, I just think woman. Woman in STEM. But yeah, so you can see here what I've done is basically create that pink going through, and then the curtains I used the Blooming Rooms kit again, and I just kind of matched that with the banana leaf wallpaper. For this room, this kid's a bit more of a dreamer. The other one maybe is like a sciencey botanist kind of gal, whereas this kid's like maybe got their heads in the cloud a bit, maybe a bit more artsy. I don't know, you decide what their subject can be, but tell me in the comments what you might think from this room. But they're a bit more muted, a bit more toned down. They've got some plants, but mainly it was like posters, and then the snow flake decal which you saw just more like maybe of a sophisticated but also kind of daydreamer vibe was what I was going for. And really, yeah, I think that kind of, I really like these 2 rooms. I think they are my favourite bedrooms, even better than the master bedroom. But yeah, that was really it, and now we are on to screenshots. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do go have a look at it on the gallery. Please look at the screenshots because you will get to see a bit more content than you would have in the video. Appreciate you watching so much. I hope you enjoyed, and so looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye!